This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
The solar eclipse is just a few days away, and we talk with the president of the Greater Hazleton Area Astronomical Society about a key element in this amazing process. Happy Hazleton night at PNC Field from me, Ken Cara. Full story on the event tomorrow in HD on Service Electric Cablevision Channel 513. And if you're heading out on Friday, don't miss the story. Just download the Samsung Productions app. Now to Thursday's headlines from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. The Pennsylvania Department of Health reports that a rabid fox has been found in Schuylkill County. The fox was found in the area of New Road in Moss Creek, West Monoy Township on Monday. The health department says anyone with a bite or significant human exposure to the saliva or central nervous system fluid from the animal should contact the Schuylkill County State Health Center. That number is 570-621-3112. Also, anyone with a pet that may have been injured by the animal should contact a veterinarian. The department warns residents to avoid contact with wild or stray animals, especially bats, raccoons, foxes, and skunks. A masked man robbed a convenience store early this morning in Sugarloaf Township. It happened around 1 a.m. at the Turkey Hill Minute Mart. According to our media partner, the Standard Speaker, police say that a white man wearing a face mask and wearing all dark clothing robbed the store and then fled east toward Walmart. No weapons were displayed during the robbery. This is the fourth time that this store has been robbed this year. A downed utility pole caused some traffic tie-ups this morning in Hazleton. City police tell our media partner, the Standard Speaker, that a tractor-trailer heading east on West 15th Street caught the overhanging wires, causing the pole to snap. The pole was dragged for about 150 feet, ending up near the entrance to the former Eddie's restaurant. A streetlight was also damaged. Police and firefighters and the city streets department responded. There were no injuries reported. I'm getting ready to head to PNC Field and Music in just a little bit. Are you? It's Hazleton night, and SSPTV's The Girls, Deb and Janine, will be tossing out the first pitch at tonight's Rail Riders baseball game. Plus, our entire SSPTV team will also be there. Stop by our booth and purchase our newly released Angela Park DVD for $24.99. Plus, local nonprofit organizations will be there with displays and more. The first 2,500 fans get a Joe Madden poster, plus plenty of fun and surprises. Game time, first pitch, set for 7:05 p.m. The Schuylkill Mall is coming down. The demolition will pave the way for construction of 2 industrial buildings on the site, according to the Schuylkill Economic Development Corporation. The buildings could support more than 800 new jobs for the area. The plans were outlined Wednesday at a Schuylkill County Commissioners meeting. Demolition of the Schuylkill Mall is expected to begin in the late fall or early winter, with new construction predicted to start in the spring of 2018. Meanwhile, Pearl Theater Stadium 8 will remain open inside the mall through the end of the year. State Police in Frackville will conduct sobriety checkpoints on Schuylkill County roadways starting today. The goal of the DUI checkpoints is to reduce the number of alcohol and drug-related fatal and serious crashes and to reduce the number of DUI drivers on Pennsylvania's highways. The checkpoints will continue through September 5th. A total solar eclipse will sweep across the United States on Monday. We'll see a partial eclipse here in the Hazleton area, so you will need your eclipse glasses or you'll have to take other safety precautions. Do you know what else you'll need for a good eclipse? The moon. Earth's best friend is the topic of our latest astronomy segment, and of course, we'll also talk about the eclipse. Let's welcome back Scott McAndrews, the president of the Greater Hazleton Area Astronomical Society, and more segments about the night sky. When you were here the first time, you said you really enjoy looking at the solar system, kind of our backyard and maybe our closest neighbor, the moon. So let's start there and talk about some features of it. And I wanted to ask, is that a good place to start if you're a beginner, to look up and maybe get familiar with your telescope and the night sky? Start with the moon.
That is the easiest target, really it is, other than the sun. But you don't want to look at the sun with a telescope, not at all. The best way to start observing the moon is when it's just starting to come out of its crescent. It starts from new and then it goes into its crescent and then half and then to the full moon. You really don't want to look at a full moon, but as you look at the moon, try to check it out along the edge and you'll see the delineation from the darkness to the light, and you'll see shadows from the craters and things like that. And be amazed at what you can actually see just in little parts of the moon.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I started out, I wanted to look at the Apollo landing sites, and you said, listen, you're not going to see the American flag waving up. Well, they wouldn't be waving, but you won't see the American flag up there. But it kind of got me familiar with some of the features of the moon, and I just Googled, Apollo landing sites, and you can actually, I guess, you'll see where they did land.
You'll see where they are, right? You'll see where they are, and of course the craters, like Tycho is the one that really sticks out at the bottom of the moon, which is actually at the top of the moon when you're looking at it through the scopes. Everything's upside down. But, and the Sea of Tranquility, and like you were saying, where they landed to the Apollos. But again, when you try to look at the moon, it's nice to look out every day when you go out and see how everything changes. It's just amazing the difference, what you can see when you check out the moon. And it's an easy target. It's a real easy target.
I said sometimes I guess the moon could be an astronomer's enemy because you go out, you want to see some deep sky objects, and the moon's out there, and that it gets so bright you're not going to see it. But I guess there's a balance between appreciating it and wanting the dark sky. And
Correct. And the neat thing is too that it helps us do a lot of other things like see a solar eclipse. Yeah. And the reason why we see a solar eclipse is because the distance of the moon has changed. On average, it's about 225,000 to 250 or so thousand miles away. So that fluctuation will either give you a closer moon, which gives you the total eclipse, or it gives you the annular eclipse, which just covers just a little bit, leaves a little bit of the rim of the sun in the moon. So it's pretty good. That once that moon is closest to us, that's when we get totality.
Well, I do hear, and it's been interesting recently, the past few full moons, people have said to me, they said, wow, the moon looks really close. And I guess that's what it is. It's lining up, right? It's getting
there. It's getting there, yep.
I wanted to mention, I took this photo, and honestly, it got to the point where I was I don't want to say I was over the moon, but I was a little cocky. I was like, I know the moon like the back of my hand. Now, I've been doing this for 6 months. I could be a scientist on this. And I got this shot. I was just testing out my new telescope camera, and I noticed the mountain range for really the first time. And it had Mons Hadley, or Mount Hadley, and I just so happened to Google that too, and I saw this amazing shot from NASA in the background. It's almost where they landed Apollo 15. So the mountains are just incredible to check out.
It is. It's really cool what you can see with the telescope. Even something that you can check it out with those binoculars, and if you can hold it steady enough, you'll be able to see some good stuff. So it's amazing what you see in the moon.
We have to end this segment right now, but Scott, we'll be back to talk more about the night sky.
Scott and I did a segment on the actual eclipse earlier this summer, and I will post that on our Facebook page this evening so you can check it out. In other news, a statue that merges art with mathematics was recently presented to MMI Preparatory School in Freeland. The sculpture is the work of local artist Salvador DeFazio, who is a graduate of MMI's class of 1967. The piece honors the class, which will celebrate its 50th reunion in October. In the artistic sense, the sculpture is known as Apollo's Harp, while on the math side, it carries the title Plotting the Gravitational Waves of the Solar System. It was unveiled during a ceremony Saturday at MMI. As our John Eric Poli and other people from Pittston will tell you, it's a special time that only comes once a year, and they aren't referring to Christmas. They're talking about the Pittston Tomato Festival. The festival kicks off tonight at 5 p.m. and it will end on Sunday at 9 p.m. If you head to Main Street in Pittston over the next few days, you'll be able to taste some of the area's best Italian food. On Saturday morning, the Tomato Festival Parade begins at 10:30 a.m. and this year's two Grand Marshals are Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf and former Pittston area Penn State and Miami Dolphin football player Jimmy Cefalo. Well, it's Hazelton night, and a great way to celebrate is with cold pizza. Each Thursday, you have a chance to win a box of 12 slices of Frankie's Cold Pizza with their signature sauce and cheese blend, baked fresh with no preservatives. Call 570-459-9813, extension 104. Leave us your name and number. The winner will be drawn at random, and Frankie's Express will soon resume their door-to-door cold pizza service. You can do so much with the Samsung Productions mobile app, like purchasing tickets to the upcoming Lantern Fest at the Pocono Raceway. Plus, right now, get some coupons from Subway in the Laurel Mall. Go to the app, click on the upper left corner, and scroll down to coupons. The app also lets you take all of your favorite local shows like SSPTV News, Out of Left Field, and the Sam Lassand Show with you wherever you go. Coming up, our Tamaqua area football preview, and up next, more details on the upcoming event, A Night Under the Stars. This is SSP TV News, your place for 24 hours of your hometown news and information.
This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
The month of August is going fast, and that means that a very popular attraction is not far behind. September 23rd kicks off the 162nd Annual Bloomsburg Fair. SSPTV's very own Sam Lassant stopped by the fairgrounds yesterday to get a preview of this year's big attraction. He talked with Fair President Paul Reichert about many things, including how the fair came about more than a century and a half ago.
What was the purpose, and why did the people start the fair?
I think basically there was probably a couple farmers that got together and said, you know, let's have a little fun down around the Bloomsburg area at the lower end of town. And I think it just happened to be their involvement to look ahead a little bit. It's like the fire companies. They start a little carnival, before you know it expands and expands. And these gentlemen would have no idea today what we have here at the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds.
So, all right, so it evolved with the farmers getting together to get like a get-together, a picnic, or whatever it may be, okay? So what did they bring at that time? Do you recall?
Well, I'm sure they brought their horses and buggies and their own lunches. And later on, they expanded to little exhibits of different things, just like they have over the years with the farm equipment. It's, it's supposed to be agricultural, and we've stayed with that pretty well. And as you look around and see the old photos of the old grandstand and the little racetrack and etc., it must have been exciting days back in those early 1800s.
Grotto Pizza. You can see this latest Sam Lassant show previewing the 162nd Annual Bloomsburg Fair tomorrow at noon, 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. on SSPTV and anytime at SSPTV.com and via our Samsung Productions app.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
They're down to business at Harmon Geiss Memorial Field. It was a hot day, but the Cougars seem like they can handle the heat in 2017. We have our preview of the team next Thursday. Here's our local forecast now from the National Weather Service. Tonight we have a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 7 p.m. Increasing clouds tonight, low of 67 degrees. On Friday, showers are likely and a possible thunderstorm, mostly cloudy, high of 79, 60% chance of precipitation, and we may see rainfall between a half and 3/4 of an inch. And then on Friday night, 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before 7 p.m., mostly cloudy, low of 65 degrees, new rainfall amounts between a 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch. For Saturday, mostly sunny, highs in the upper 80s, at night partly cloudy with a low of 60 degrees. Sunday looks great, mostly sunny with a high of 80 degrees, at night mostly clear, low of 61. And then for the solar eclipse on Monday, it looks good, sunny with a high near 83 degrees, and Monday night partly cloudy, low of 63 degrees.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High Food Drive-In, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. Open daily 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sundays and holidays 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Stop by for our ice cream and yogurt, now featuring fat-free, no sugar-added soft frozen yogurt with flavors like vanilla, strawberry, and strawberries and cream. We also have burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazleton. And like us on Facebook.
A first-of-its-kind event will take place in our area next Friday. It's called A Night Under the Stars, an elegant outdoor gala to benefit Catholic Social Services in Hazleton. Our Lisa Sugar talked with the organization's executive director, Neil Alberto.
Neil, I guess, what was your reaction to this brand new idea for A Night Under the Stars that will benefit your agency?
Invigorating and just so exciting. I mean, it's just such a unique concept. And just so glad that the group that's come together, they're just so invested in this. It's exciting. It's very exciting.
Now, this is a very unique event, but it's going to benefit all of the programs. So that includes the Divine Providence Homeless Shelter and all the many programs of Catholic Social Services. So talk about how desperately you do need the money to help these programs.
We couldn't do these programs without the support of the community. We're always looking for resources to try to respond to that unmet need. Funding is just becoming so much more challenging. So something like this helps to bridge the gap. And as you mentioned, the Night Under the Stars, in reference to the homeless shelter. But then on the flip side, we have that emergency St. Joseph's Pantry. The pantry alone sees close to about anywhere between 900 to 1,000 unduplicated families a year. And that is just as important to help support families in their need with food and basic material needs. So it all makes such a difference.
We hope a lot of people come out for a Night Under the Stars, but if they can't, they can help you. How else?
We're always willing and humbly and gratefully accepting financial support. There's no question about that. We're always looking for help with individuals wanting to donate food items and whatnot to the pantry, and also within the pantry itself, volunteering their time, because the pantry is open 4 days a week, so just keeping that staffed and keeping that going, we could always use the support.
The event's outdoor location will be kept secret until 1 hour prior to the gala. There is an indoor location in case of rain. Black and white semi-formal attire is required, and guests will provide their own centerpiece for their table. The deadline for reservations is tomorrow, so call Catholic Social Services at 570-455-1521. Let's move on and look at our green screen. The midday winning lottery numbers from the Pennsylvania Lottery: pick 285. Your pick 3 numbers: 382, pick 4 7362, pick 5 63711. Our wild number is 8. Our football previews continue. We'll talk about the Blue Raiders of Tamaqua after this break.
Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
You know, Tamaqua isn't only the land of the running water, it's also the land of running the football. Here's our 2017 Tamaqua area preview. The Blue Raiders don't mind heights. Their school and football stadium are located on top of a hill. Their mascot is an eagle, and they aren't scared to air it out on the football field. But make no mistake, everything starts on the ground for Tamaqua football.
In Tamaqua, we always kind of build everything based on our power run game. You know, we got a couple experienced linemen back in Bronson Strauss, as well as I mentioned before, Matt Amadeus. So we actually have a few guys back this year, which we didn't have going into last season. So we're looking to build on some of our power run game, as well as obviously try and spread it around with, the talent that we have on the field.
The Blue Raiders may be able to reach new heights in 2017 thanks to their balance on offense. They return running back Nick Briner, who rushed for over 800 yards last season. Briner won't be the only one in the backfield helping fuel the Raiders.
We're pleased we got some young guys back in the backfield. Nick Briner had a great year for us last year, ran for about 800, 900 yards for us, as well as Nate Boyle. Both those guys, it's nice to have those two guys back. They're two strong running backs for us, as well as Casey Rother at that split end position. He creates some mismatches. He's a 6'5" receiver who's actually gotten a lot bigger and stronger in the offseason.
They also have quarterback Thad Zuber, who passed for over 1,000 yards and completed 11 touchdown passes to 5 interceptions in 2016, according to Max Preps.
Tamaqua's always a ground and pound team. Schuylkill League's always a ground and pound kind of league. So having the ability, first down, second down, even to pass the ball, complete some passes, move downfield, just keep the ball moving downfield.
Do you see defenses maybe scrambling a bit and being like, we got to defend the pass now?
Yeah, so a lot of defensive in this league play either cover 3, so they really have 2 D-backs and a safety, so it's a little bit easier to pick apart than just having a double safety. So being able to pass in this league, that's a big bonus.
So Tamaqua has a lot of options on offense. Here's how they're shaping up on defense.
Defensively, again, Nick Briner, he's in the middle of our defensive linebacker, as well as John Burns. So we got 2 guys back on the inside. A lot of those young guys like Matty Amadeo, who's a sophomore, started tackle for us last year. Looking for a lot from him on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively.
The Blue Raiders return their place kicker Mitch Curick, but they do have to find a replacement at punter.
Last season I thought it was a very good season. We ended up 5-6, but we were pretty close in a bunch of games. So we were just really playing as a team, starting to get younger guys that we have back this year, and trying to get some experience on the field.
Tamaqua isn't scared of how high they can fly in 2017. They've accepted the challenge to take another step forward this year. Making the District 11 AAA playoffs was great last year, but they want more. It's halftime for our 2017 football previews. Tomorrow on the Sportscast, we'll bring you coverage of the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. Our football previews will continue on Monday with Shenandoah Valley, and then on Tuesday, we preview the Marion Catholic Colts, and on Thursday, we finish up with the Hazelton area Cougars. Next Friday, we will kick off our Football Friday features with coverage of the recent Shenandoah Valley Monoy area alumni football game. My Red Sox had Joe Maddon's back last night. Boston beat St. Louis, so if the Cubs could beat the Reds, they would put more distance between themselves and the Redbirds in the NL Central standings, and they did. Here's the SSPTV standard speaker scoreboard. Anthony Rizzo launched a grand slam in this win. He has 28 home runs on the season. Pitcher John Lackey stole the first base of his career. Look up the highlight online. It's sweet. Love Lackey. The Cubs now lead the Cardinals by 2.5 games in the division, and the Brewers are only a game and a half back. The Rail Riders, they lost 2 games on Wednesday, and they are now in a 3-game losing streak. They'll look to bounce back on Hazelton night.
Good evening, everyone. Here's today's Talk of the Town. The Greater Hazelton Chamber of Commerce is seeking restaurants, catering services, bakeries, and grocery stores to participate in the 10th annual Taste of Greater Hazelton. There is no registration fee for chamber member businesses, and there will be a $150 fee for non-chamber member businesses. However, that fee will go towards your membership. Anyone who is participating is asked to bring 350 samples. If you would like to participate or need more information, you can contact the Chamber. And happy birthday to Samantha Reinmold, with all our love from your family and everyone here at SSPTV. And that's today's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to send our sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Mary Ann Bartman of Salt Lake City, Utah. Mass is Friday at noon at the Good Shepherd Church and Drums. The Firo Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Mary Josephine Gamorth of Hazel Township. Services will be held at the convenience of the family under the McNulty Funeral Home. Joseph W. Habel of Hazelton. Funeral is Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Hazel Chapel of the Crofton Hughes Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the funeral home. Michael Judd Mag of Indianapolis, Indiana. Service will be Friday at 9:30 a.m. at the St. John's Cemetery in Freeland. The McNulty Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Bernice Mattias. Funeral is Saturday at 10:30 a.m. at the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Saturday from 9 to 10:30 a.m. at the funeral home. John A. Tomshow, formerly of Sugarloaf Township. Mass is Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Holy Name of Jesus at Transfiguration Church. Friends may call Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. at the church. Reed Arlen Whitner of Tom Hicken. Visitation is Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Harmon Funeral Home. And Frank John Ferrace of West Palm Beach, Florida. Mass will be August 26th at 11 a.m. at the Most Precious Blood Church in Hazelton.
To see Janine and Deb throw out that first pitch from the Rail Riders game. Plus, again, we'll have all of the fun from Hazelton night at PNC Field. But that's the end of the fun for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everyone.
Watch us online anytime at ssptv.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.